Okay, so I'm here together with Fritz Ferstl. I'm the reservoir project leader for Sun. And Fritz, may you introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Fritz Ferstl. I'm director for Sun Grid Engine and for HPC on Solaris at Sun Microsystems.
Okay, Fritz, I have some question regarding the reservoir project. What caused Sun to get involved in this EU-funded project?
First of all, it was a research project which was forward-looking enough to warrant a 3-year project period. All right, that's not always the case in research projects. In this case, we really could expect to make some progress within 3 years and then still meet market demand. Mm-hmm. Then there were lots of interesting partners joining into the project, and of course, also EU funding, of course.
Okay. Reservoir is basically about services and cloud computing. And in the last, I would say, couple of 1, 2 or 3 years, there was really a big hype about cloud computing. So what do you think will be, after that hype, will be left over, and where do you see the position of Sun?
In my opinion, yes, it is certainly hype. But at the same time, it is really a symptom of the evolution that is taking place in the data center IT infrastructure technology. In terms of what will be the result of that evolution, I do believe that data center infrastructures will become similar to what you see today in cloud computing infrastructure. They will be becoming more agile, more dynamic, more elastic. There will be a certain penetration in between enterprise data centers and public cloud infrastructures. It will be possible to share workload, data, and so on across those boundaries, which currently are relatively tight shut. So that is going to be the end result, in my opinion, and whether that is called cloud computing or something else, it doesn't really much matter.
Okay, and there is a kind of, let's say, fuzzy area between grid computing and cloud computing. Can you shed some light on that, or state your opinion?
Yeah, more or less along the lines of what I just said. I mean, grid computing and cloud computing just have been two buzzwords along the same evolution, the same trajectory path. Actually, in my opinion, if you look at a public cloud infrastructure like, for instance, Amazon EC2, and you take the analogy of a power plant in electrical grid, then EC2 looks very much alike such a power plant. So I think the grid analogy still would apply, even though it's now called being cloud computing. So I don't really see much of a difference. It's just, you know, an evolutionary development.
Okay. And for the reservoir project, Sun will provide one of 4 use cases, which will be the utility computing use case, which will be basically Sun Grid Engine running as a service inside reservoir. What do you think will be the expected outcome of this?
The interesting thing for us is that integrating Sun Grid Engine with an infrastructure such as provided by Reservoir will provide functionality to Grid Engine such as elasticity, so it will be possible to extend or shrink the amount of resources which a Grid Engine system consumes. It will be possible to do that on demand, automatically. It also will be possible, for instance, to use resources which reside actually in a cloud service instead of the local site resource pool, which then in turn enables customers who even don't have a data center to use services as provided by Sun Grid Engine. So that's a fairly interesting area for us.
Okay, and since Reservoir is mainly a research project, does Sun have any exploitation plans?
Yes, certainly. I mean, SunGrid Engine is a product. I mean, we're currently integrating SunGrid Engine in the reservoir framework as a research project. But as that integration becomes let's say a standard means of integrating with cloud computing infrastructures, be they reservoir or be they similar infrastructures, we eventually can make that a part of our product, and then basically harvest the benefits that I just mentioned, such as agility or elasticity and so on.
Okay. Fritz, thank you for that interview.
You're welcome.